Growing up in New York, everyone has some sort of adversity that they've overcome or an interesting story and a background. And it creates this energy it's electric and it's contagious, and it makes you want to do more, it makes you want to be successful and achieve more, and it makes you want to do more for others.
Joining us now is Michael Cohan, and we're going to be talking about personal injury and the technology that has enhanced that field. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Now, I know education means a lot to you because one of the things that you also do is you help kids prepare for the SAT, underprivileged children. How did that start? When did you decide to become like a mentor and a tutor and things like that?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I actually had a lot of trouble with math, and I engaged with a math tutor, and he was excellent. So he and I actually ended up starting a business where we would do math tutoring sessions for kids at Stony Brook University to help them prepare for their exams in calculus. And from there, I really just got into the idea of helping kids, especially younger ones, who struggle with those subjects and taking them to the next level, because a lot of people are scared to ask for help or they don't have the resources.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of times people are afraid to ask for help because they don't want to admit that maybe they're not as smart as the next person, and so they're just like, they struggle on their own.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. There's resources there. You know, I think same thing with personal injury, right? Like, what is it about, having a car accident, where then you want to get compensated, I guess, for a bodily injury claim? Is that how you help with people?
Yeah, I think the trickiest part is that a lot of people don't know that they are hurt.
Okay.
And the injury will manifest itself days or weeks later, and they don't realize I could have engaged with somebody to help me with this issue. And we want people to understand that a back injury is almost like a cavity in your tooth. You might not feel it day one, day two, but the onset of it could be strong and it could cause lasting damage to you. So it's important to engage with a doctor, with a lawyer, to make sure that your rights are protected down the line.
Now, did you know somebody in a car accident? What made you decide to go into this type of practice?
I did not know somebody particularly in a car accident, but I started my career at a bigger law firm doing what's called mass tort litigation and asbestos litigation, where I would travel through the country and help people with pharmaceutical cases and different issues. And I thought to myself, why am I not helping people locally in my state and my hometown? So I switched practice areas and I opened my own practice to be able to help people locally rather than on a national level.
Now, asbestos, that was the mesothelioma, right?
Correct.
So a lot of times that's what was happening. You'd see a lot of commercials about that, and the lungs and things like that. So what you're doing now is also helping people's bodies get healed, right? How is AI helping the technology behind bodily injury?
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating. I read this on your card and I was like, okay, Michael, I want to know more. Tell me more.
That's a great question. So first of all, the big insurance companies and the big defense firms who are defending these cases, they've already leveraged technology. They're already at the next level of AI. So for my side of the table, for plaintiffs' lawyers who represent injured people, it's really important for us to get up to that speed. And what I've been doing is I've been treating my practice like a tech firm almost. We invest in the tech, we invest in the software to be able to help leverage our clients and their cases to get them the maximum result. And I'll give you a great example. We could have an intake call with a client, a paralegal could do a Zoom. After that Zoom, the AI will take the information from the client, the verbal answers from the client, and turn that into a case in our system, set up a workflow so that a paralegal is responsible for every action item throughout the course of the case, and set specific calendar events in our law firm software. So when the AI and the technology is able to do those ministerial tasks, it allows our paralegals to take the next step and do substantive work, be in touch with the clients, ensure they're getting the medical care that they need, making sure that they're healing, negotiating with the insurance companies. A lot of our clients have problems with their cars. They need their cars fixed. They're out of work. They need to get paid for that. So I want my staff to be working on the heavy hitter topics for the clients rather than the ministerial stuff. And that's why I've been investing a lot in software and AI to handle some of the administrative stuff so that we could work on the important things with the client.
As a driver, about how much insurance should you have so that if you are the person on the other side and you hit somebody, you have enough in that pocket?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it 100, 300,000, 500,000, $1.5 million? Like, how much coverage does somebody need to have so that if they're on either side?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think that you have to take your income level and your priorities into account. I don't want to push everybody. I'm not a broker. I don't want to push everybody to get high insurance and then it bankrupts you on the back end. Obviously, people have financial limitations, but I do think I would recommend that you would have at least $100,000 in insurance, and also get what's called underinsured motorist coverage. A lot of people don't know about this, but if it's the car that hits you has no insurance or has a very low policy, your insurance can step in as if they were the other insurance
To
and
help you pay for
compensate
your
you for
medical
your
bills.
injuries. So underinsured motorist coverage, I would recommend that you talk to your insurance broker and make sure you have adequate coverage just in case you're in an emergency.
Lovely. Thank you very much for joining us.
Sure, my
It
pleasure.
was delightful to have you on, and it's important. It is important because there are more and more cars out on the road, especially here in this tri-state area, right? Everybody has a vehicle. Sometimes they have two or three. So making sure that as a driver, you have enough insurance, and if you're hurt, make sure that you do have somebody that can manage your care.
Yeah, and there's a higher incidence of distracted driving too. We get a lot of clients who get hit by texting drivers or teenagers who are texting. So
We actually are
it's
doing
really
a very
important.
special segment on that today. In Michigan, there is new law on the books because of this family that I'm interviewing later today. It's so important. You're right, distracted driving. Yeah. It's horrible. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned for more. Living It Up. We're trying to bring you great services that are going to make your life better and complete. Thanks for watching.